while objects of sensual pleasure cease to be for the man who withdraws his senses from them. His desire for these objects yet remains, but the desires of the man of discrimination are completely erased by his perception of God. The objects of sense come to an end for the man who has rejected them because his senses no longer perceive them, but his desires yet survive. The feeling of attachment lives on. But the passions of the yogi, the doer of selfless action, are annihilated by his perception of the ultimate essence that is God. The accomplished, or enlightened, sage does not, like the turtle, re-extend his senses to objects which are pleasing to them. When once his senses have shriveled, all the influences and impressions sanskar he has carried with him from a previous existence are irrevocably dead. His senses do not then return to life. By apprehending God through the observance of the way of selfless action, even the attachments to objects of sensual pleasure become extinct. Force has often been a feature of meditation, and by its use seekers rid themselves of objects of sense. But thoughts of these objects persist. These attachments are brought to an end only with the perception of God and never before that, because before this stage residues of matter persist. In this connection, my most revered teacher Sri Parmanand Ji used to cite an event from his own life. He had heard 3 voices from heaven when he was about to give up home. We respectfully asked him why these voices from heaven came to him alone. There had not been any for us. He replied that he, too, had the same doubt. But then he had an intuition that he had been an ascetic during his last 7 births. During the first 4 of these he had only roamed about garbed in a holy man's paraphernalia, with a sandal paste mark on his forehead, ash rubbed on his body, and carrying the water pot used by ascetics. He had then lived in ignorance of yog. But during the last EFJE less than UEEF via Ross 80 3 births he had been a true saint, as such a